This is the Lydian spin, and you know we're not going to stop. But we would appreciate any help we can get because, look, our mouths do not run on gas and air alone, occasionally food and drink. So if you wouldn't mind contributing, no contribution, too large or too small, because we're just going to keep going, whether or not you help us out. Your gain, your loss.
The PayPal is paypal.me/TSD1975. That's paypal.me/TSD1975.
It would help. We're going to keep going. You know, we don't like to beg, and certainly we're not, but actually, it's a fucking command. Take it or leave it. Thank you. This is the Lydian Spin. This is the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dahl, and Simon Slater stepping in for a couple of wisecracks, I do believe. Thanksgiving. I want to just say this. I'm sorry for anybody who has to go visit a family they can't stand. Why the fuck you doing it? If you like your family, that's great. I do love turkey. Now, Tim Dahl and I just returned from a mini tour of the Midwest. How you feeling, Tim? A little rough?
Yes, I'm feeling pretty exhausted, to be honest.
You were road dogging yesterday. We drove from Pittsburgh to Harrisburg and came back the same night.
Well, we which was wise. That was your choice. It was a wise choice because we didn't want to have to drive today. So yes,
no rain last night and not much traffic.
The night before we had played in Pittsburgh, got up, and I stayed up till, I don't know, 4:35.
Your mistake.
Well, I like to have a good time. And then I was doing all the driving, so I had, if anyone, I did it to myself, so I knew what I was getting into. And then we drove 3.5 hours to Harrisburg in the rain. And then you did your screening of your movie and your little
depression, anxiety, rage, tears were
Q&A.
Not right out at 9:00, as I said we would.
And then we drove back.
It was great. We were with surfer Mike Hoffman, a festive and hilarious time, now known as Manager Magic Mike's Hoffman.
I had a great night. Chicago was awesome. They're all in their own, special in their own way. Detroit was a party that was really fucking fun.
It was only the second time in 50 years I had to get a woman extracted from the club. I mean, I haven't had any men extracted in a long time.
Yeah,
I do not like a drunken filly, but she just came out saying, divide and conquer. I'm like, yeah.
No, she was saying you're dividing everyone. I don't really know her. I know of her. She used to live in Brooklyn, and I think things aren't.
She was banned from 3 bars already. Doesn't matter. Yeah. I loved it.
Well, her brand new face tattoo and just kind of general mental illness are not really good signs, I think. But
every show was different.
Best to her.
Every show was glorious.
Yes, Cleveland, Pittsburgh was really. I mean, come on. I had a great time. Every night was fun being with you.
Martin Atkins, who was the guest this week at his fabulous Airbnb, visited his museum. Absolutely great time.
Really great. And talk about a lot of stories. So got to see a lot of people and connect and enjoy the performance and enjoy you. Had some good meals. What can I say? I just had a good time. I just had a fucking good time.
No issues, no problems. And now Simon is in some, I don't know what he's at, but it looks swanky.
He's in the Beauport
Hotel in Gloucester.
That's a nice one. It's fancy. Is it you enjoy it more than staying at your parents' house these days?
I bet.
You want me to say this on public? All I'm going to say is that the Beauport is a very nice place to stay. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, good.
Simon, you work hard all day, all night, and do the podcast with us. You deserve a break from everything and everyone.
Thank you, Lydia. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, I wanted to say a few things about what I'm thankful for. Please. Which would be you, Simon Slater, which would be you, Tim Dahl, which would be Mike Hoffman, Joseph Keckler, Vanessa Sconce, Ron Athey, Brian Lewis Saunders, Jim Faherty will eventually get out of the hole he's in, love him as I do. Matt Nelson, Kevin to the motherfucking Shay, hello. There's so many people I'm thankful for knowing and being in their lives, and I'm so happy they're my true family.
Well, and I like to run with that because
stay on the mic, Tim. You're fading in and out.
Am I? What's going on here?
Well, you're like a bobblehead.
You sound good.
Yeah. It sounds like I'm still on the Scarlet. one of your good friends, Pam Hogg, passed away, and this is.
I didn't know that she passed away
in the last 24 hours.
Tim,
I am. You're choking on ghost, which you did on this trip. I'm sorry.
That's horrible.
Yes, in the graveyard, I was choking heavily on a ghost. I thought I was.
So there's two people that passed away this week who we should have had on the podcast, but sometimes you just don't have time. And we tried with Pam once, but it didn't work out because she had a bad internet connection.
Pam Hogg was an incredible gal, singer, fashion designer of the highest order, ripped off by giving so many so-called rock superstars free clothing, which they never paid for, and really was the head of latex fashions. I mean, her designs were incredible. And TED Talk, please investigate.
Yeah. She was a special one, and she's going to be missed. I got to work with Udo Kier, as you know, a couple of years ago. He passed away this week. Albert Olin, the painter who was on our on the podcast, had me in one of his films. It's only been shown in galleries, but I ended up having a spoken, a dialogue with Udo Kier, which, it's pretty cool on that film. But I got to roll with him for a couple of days, and we had gone out to dinner and drinking together and kind of sparring. I mean, he was classic, like kind of rude actor, gay guy that was super smart and fun. And we would and with me, we were just sparring and doing a lot of back and forth. And, he's a larger than life dude. And I feel like I really blew my chance by not getting him on the podcast, but he will be missed too. I mean, he's a legend.
Well, and also let me just say something about the passing of people, because my feelings about death. We're all going to do it eventually. And we don't cry for the dead. We cry for ourselves and what we miss. And this is why, like in a relationship, no matter how intimate, friend, whatever, familial, is you have to remember, you have to focus on what you gained by knowing them, not by what you're losing as a greedy motherfucker who wants more of what they were. You have to take it on a molecular level, the joy, the information, the insight that they brought you, the inspiration, because we shall all be there. And I'm not going to say we're all going to be there together, because God knows, atomically perhaps.
Whoa, I have to take the baton from you on this one, because it's one of the articles and that or one of the stories or whatever I wanted to bring to the intro. Physicist Professor Maria Strom from Uppsala University, which is just north of Stockholm. It's Uppsala, Sweden. I'm sure you've played there before.
Been there?
Yeah, I have. But she's now challenging. She has a new theory on what happens when you die and consciousness. And she says we're beyond approaching this from philosophy, and it's essential we start approaching this from physics, a physics angle. And she basically says that there is I'm kind of reading my notes here. There's a fundamental field in the universe, and that our brains channel this field, and they're basically building blocks, this kind of universal consciousness. And basically, individual consciousness is an illusion, sort of like she's like she makes an analogy with ocean waves, and then an ocean wave will rise and then collapse, but the water is still there the whole time. So your existence on Earth as a human and tapping into this is actually grabbing from this general field, and basically when your physical body dies, you go back to that field.
Tim, I have a question on that.
Hold on, because I'm going to keep on going with this. And she says this is actually essential for explaining things like that we're often stigmatized at, like telepathy, outer body experiences, near-death experiences, afterlife experiences, and that some people can maybe naturally tap into this.
Well,
hello,
what about lobsters? Are they on this?
Stop for a minute, Simon. Let's finish with this.
Hold on. You can do it synthetically. You can do it through meditation. Maybe even do it through like we do performances. Who knows? But she says, in order for mankind where we are right now, we need to approach this from a physical angle as opposed to a philosophical one. Hold on. There are a few more cool points, but maybe I covered the general.
I'm going to recommend
really
a book
complicated.
I'm going to recommend a book called The Field by Lynn McTaggart. And as Einstein said, there's another part about the universe, which is that giant mysterious vacuum in space where all energy is conjuring. And let's face it, everything is atomic and and electricity. So again, not only is there dissolution of the body, but energy has to go somewhere. When you shut off a light, energy doesn't disappear; it's still there somewhere.
Well,
hang on, I'm not finished.
Okay.
And then there is also the transmutation through the DNA of repetitive lifetime experiences. So, Jasmine and I, this is what we tap into. This is how, one of my opening pieces. Consider if you could pick up the remnants of every stone and step that you walk on and all of history's agonies inherent in it. Well, this is a zone that some of us do lock into. And that's why there are some people that actually can understand the computer nature of not only our brain, our genetics, but the electrical force field that lies beyond this physical realm.
So
that'll be $250, please.
Well, she's using, she's trying to explain this through quantum physics. She thinks she's really onto something. I think I believe that more than heaven and hell. I mean, going back to Simon's thing about the lobster consciousness.
I don't believe anything an old man in a white fucking toga tells me. All right, that's all I'm saying.
If
Unless he's in the band, oh no.
If Dr. Maria Strom thinks our brains are basically just building blocks coming from this fundamental field, Simon, I think a lobster would probably be like, you think a grain of sand or maybe like a molecule. I don't know.
But it continues.
Well, also, look, this search for alien life, we actually house we house aliens. We house bacteria and viruses, which are true aliens. We are merely a vehicle for so many things. So, it's like a car. When it dies, it goes to the junkyard. It doesn't go to heaven or hell. It goes to the cemetery. And then what remains? Into the atmosphere.
Well, I'm seeing the universe. There's now proof that there's lightning on Mars. And,
lightning.
Yeah. But I didn't know enough about lightning before because I was like, well, what the fuck? Because they're like, is there water? No, lightning can be created through things like dust devils. So there can be dry lightnings or dust. It's basically friction. I mean, usually it's just water or ice in the clouds kind of rubbing up against each other a lot and creating this kind of electrical spark. Well, it's a pretty extreme one. But yes, they've actually, the NASA rover has this microphone and camera that's been looking for this for 2 Martian years, and they
all they want about going to Mars. We ain't fucking going there.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm not even talking about that.
I know. I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
I'm saying we're not going to fucking Mars. The same reason we can't live on the moon. We'd have to cement the whole fucking place. Like, dream these science fiction fantasies. Why don't we take care of the fucking Earth before we kill the whole thing? There's so much terrain here that is unincorporated, that is ready for whatever. There's so many people that need space, land, farms, food. And instead, we're looking like a teenage boy's fantasy to go to fucking Mars. Focus here first.
But
save
we're
the
studying
billions and billions of dollars. I'm getting unthankful for all these bright minds that focus on bullshit. Just saying.
Discovering lightning on Mars doesn't mean we're abandoning Earth.
I was taking it to the next level.
Oh, yes, you were. I'm thankful for that. Always. I'm thankful for that. All right. Well.
What was this about lobsters? I'm sorry to cut you off, Simon. Lobsters, please. I don't know what you're talking about.
Lobsters are a highly intelligent being, and I know that Tim knows that lobsters are a highly intelligent being.
Well, he loves to eat them. He only eats intelligent beings.
Yeah, I just want to know on that wave, like on that wave the lobsters.
They do. They are survivors.
Are highly intelligent creatures.
They are
salamanders. Oh, by the way,
they're also very tasty. Intelligent
salamanders?
No.
I never met an intelligent creature I didn't delight in divining upon.
Ooh. All right. Well, I mean, lobsters, we can talk about that.
Octopus.
Lobsters can live forever.
I was attacked by a fucking octopus on tour. I'm not going into great detail on that.
Well, I
know what I'm talking about.
Should. Yeah.
Boy, the road life has yeah. Anyhow.
Anyway, great tour, more to come.
Yes,
next tour soon. Martin Atkins this week. What a great time with him.
Oh, me and you we'll be in. Well, we can talk about it next week. We're gonna be in Miami. Oh, can we? No, we're gonna be in Miami next Saturday and Sunday. So, come out for that.
December 6th and 7th. We'll talk about that then.
Yeah.
Anyway, Simon, I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you. Happy Thanksgiving 2025. I can't believe it's been, what is that? That's 6 years we've been doing the podcast, almost 7.
It's been a lot.
Yeah.
2030, we're going to need some help because I just read today by 2030, 60% of single family homes will be owned by some corporation
that should just be made illegal. It's just
well, by the
low hanging fruit, man.
By the way, did you see it was really kind of phenomenal? This huge apartment complex in Hong Kong on fire today.
I saw that. Death count keeps on going up. Death count keeps on going up.
Unbelievable. Well, I mean, that's what happens when you house like 1,000 people in one building. The death count rises. Anyway, Thanksgiving, whatever it means to you, be thankful for what you have. I'm sorry if you're attending a family meeting with people that you have nothing in common with, but that's your problem. Why'd you do that? It's ridiculous. And you'll do it again at Christmas, and that's fucking ridiculous. And I'll be where I always am, safely alone, supping on divinity in my own boudoir and salon. This is the Lydians Win with Lydia Lunch, Shimdall, and occasional insert by the producer, Simon Slater. Excuse me, this is the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dahl, and Martin Atkins, recorded by Sebastian Grappo. Now, Martin Atkins, we could record for a week and we wouldn't get to all of the projects he has done in his life. Let's just start naming them off and then we'll go into detail. Pill Metal Box, one of the best albums, and Flowers of Romance. Killing Joke, his own group, Brian Brain. Pigface, he's played with, 9 Inch Nails. Ministry, Al Jargonson, the Black Hole of the Universe, but we'll go into that. And various other things, and we're very happy. And by the way, we're in the museum, the Post-Punk Industrial Museum, Industrial Music Museum, that Martin Atkins maintains and runs. And not only that, we're staying above it in the most fabulous rock and roll Airbnb I've ever seen. And Martin Atkins was on the show with me and Tim Dahl last night at Reggie's because Chris Connolly, a good friend of ours, was sick. He's a sensitive boy. So, Martin, your show last night, I'm amazed you're still alive, and thank you for being here, my friend.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of amazed too. When I detail that stuff, we were crazy. We were fucking crazy.
You were talking about broken jaws, black eyes, buses. I don't know if you said buses on fire, but it seemed to me there had to be some fire in there somewhere. But I mean, you have worked with some of the most outlandish characters and who are not, by anybody outside of it, the easiest people to work with, and some that made the most important music of those decades. How did you first even get involved with, for instance, let's start with just PIL, Pill, which that's just such an amazing record.
Well,
how'd you get called into that?
Well, I think I stalked Pill. So I was in London. I've been playing since I was 9 years old, and punk happened, and I was kind of trained. I had to play every day for 4 or 5 hours to get better and better and better, because you get better. And
what drew you to your original instrument at 9?
My dad bought me a drum kit. He was absent, supporting the family.
He didn't have to hear you rehearse, so he gave you a drum kit.
Yeah.
Nice dad.
Was he a jazz guy?
No. Well, he actually he played trombone in a jazz band.
Okay.
I played trombone for like a week. I'm like, oh, fuck this. This is, my lips are all swollen. I'm like, this is just terrible. So got me a drum kit, and I just played all the time. And faster and faster, Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, Billy Cobham.
I get going first into the jazz thing before you even got into punk.
Right.
And other things.
And then, so we're like accomplished. I'm in a kind of a prog rock band with a mellotron.
What, at 12 and 13?
Yeah. Backing strippers on a Sunday afternoon in Newcastle.
How did I know?
Drinking. Oh, it's ridiculous. And so then punk comes along, and I'm like, what the fuck? It was frightening at first. I'm like, hold on. I've been working really hard to be better. It was difficult to hear people like, here's a chord, here's another, start a band. and it was very threatening at first. And
oh
then,
my, well, then you work with the most threatening ones, but
Yeah,
God, it was threatening at first.
so I went down to London
From where?
from Newcastle
Okay.
for some auditions. I was like 16, and
What year is that? 79?
no, 77.
Oh, you were a youngster.
Yeah, and I was reading Melody Maker when I was down there. The ads are in the back. Drummer required for band with a rather well-known singer.
Oh,
I'm like, oh my God, this is John's new thing. The Pistols had just broken up. So I call the number. Hello, Virgin Records.
can you imagine? You used to be able to call a number to audition
Yeah.
or find musicians
Yeah.
that you wanted to work with.
Yeah. I'm
You
like-
call the number
I'm like,
and
is this Johnny Rotten's thing? Yes. I'm like, oh, I'm your guy. I've been playing for years. I'm really good. I don't give a shit. But
wait,
well,
and then I don't give a shit was probably the key.
right. Well, I'm like, I need an audition today because I have to go back to Newcastle tomorrow. They're like, no, the auditions are Friday. I'm like, well, I've got a ride. I don't have any more money. And so I reluctantly got in this truck that my dad had arranged. I go back up north. I'm like, I am every sign that goes past. The north, 180 miles. The north, 150 miles. I'm like, I'm going in the wrong fucking direction in every way possible. I get home. I call the band I was in. I'm like, I'm moving to London.
Just without even, yes, you're
Well,
moving to London. That's
And
it. I'm
then
going.
The next day they call me like, we're moving too. So we all moved down together. I start working for the government. We did cover songs 3 nights a week in Elephant and Castle. And
What kind of cover songs?
oh, fucking anything.
Anything.
Beatles, winding my way down on
Oh,
because
so-
absolute shit.
Crappy
You know,
cover
but we're
songs.
playing all the time.
Which
and-
is good
yeah.
when you want to become a master.
Yeah.
But did you do the Friday audition?
No.
All right,
No.
okay.
So I moved to London, and then every time a drummer left or was fired from Pill,
Because I'm
Which is
sure they were, because
every
many reasons.
every couple of months, Jim Walker is on the first album. Really great guy. He's up in Canada now. He quit after a year. Richard Dudansky from Manchester lasted a little bit. Carl Burns from The Fall. They set him on fire, ironically.
How did I, previous to this, say I knew there was fire in there? So-
Yeah. And I think that was Wobble's doing. And so like, and every time I saw the news,
Right.
drummer quits Pill or drummer fired from Pill, I called Virgin. So I called Virgin Records. Sorry, it's Martin.
Come
And they're like,
on.
"Oh, you need to talk to Jeanette. She just left. Do you have her home number? No. Well, here it is. So I called Jeanette's home.
And who's Jeanette?
Jeanette Lee, she's on the front cover of Flowers. She
Okay.
was kind of managing the back for a
Okay.
while. Now she's a co-director at Rough Trade,
Okay.
manages Jarvis Cocker. I still talk to Jeanette. And so I call her home number. It's her mum. She's not home yet. I'm like, oh, well, anyway, I'm calling. I get.
How old are you at this point?
I-
16, 17,
no,
18?
maybe 18.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get to know her mum. I'm just like the northerner. The
The
guy from.
sucker.
So after 7 drummers, they needed someone to do the last track on the metal box. I get a call. I go and next thing you know, I'm in Pill.
Amazing.
After 2 years of just.
But you knew you had to be in that.
Question, because we had the producer Nick Lowney.
Oh, Nick!
Yeah,
I fucking love Nick.
on this
Yeah.
on
Great
the
guy.
podcast, and
Yep.
he was as an engineer or he was
That was a great story about his.
right, yeah, because the professional engineers that were commissioned to do, I don't know which Pill recording, but basically Johnny lied.
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
didn't.
kick out those guys.
Yeah.
What can
Yeah.
you do, kid?
They
Yeah.
locked the door.
Yeah,
So
so
Nick was 10 weeks into his career, which is still going.
Right.
I walk in to the townhouse on the Gold Hawk
Oh,
Road,
yeah.
where Queen
Legend.
did "We Will Rock You." Nick
Genesis, all this stuff.
Phil Collins did "In the Air Tonight" in Studio 2, the drum room. I walk in with a Mickey Mouse watch, which is over there. I'm like, I used to fall asleep speeding out my head. I'd fall asleep listening to this Mickey Mouse watch. I walk into Nick. I'm like, I want to play drums to this speech. And instead of saying, "Get out,"
Yeah, he said,
Phil
go ahead.
Collins recorded "Get Out." Don't bring a Mickey Mouse watch into this room. Nick's like, yes. Puts it on the floor tom. So I'm like, what is he doing? He's crazier than me. It starts to resonate. 2 microphones, Yeah, why do you need two? Now it's stereo and the Mickey Mouse, which I play drums to that, and that's
You're playing drums to a Mickey Mouse.
So what's up with
Martin, you are insane.
what's up with that studio with Drum Innovation Recordings? Because there's the rewired Neve gated sound talkback thing that Phil Collins made famous in that studio.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what's going on in that place. There's some kind of spirits that were
Well, the drum room was tall ceiling, stone, wood floor,
cool.
And then underneath there was a basement, and they took pains to tell me there's nothing in the basement. So basically the wooden floor is like the head of a drum.
It was resonating.
Yeah. I'm like,
amazing.
And of course the place doesn't exist anymore.
How did you get along with Lydon at that point?
I got along all right with John for a bit. Because you got to remember, it's easy to look at John now. John in 78, 79 was a fucking king.
Right.
You know, I mean, the police were kicking down his door. There was 20, 30 people traveling around with us.
What?
All kinds of people. And people would walk into walls at airports. It's fucking Johnny Rock, you know. And he had this wild charisma.
Yeah.
That
an anti-charisma almost. Yeah.
Right. And there was, when we played New York or Los Angeles at the Olympic, there was no security. We told the security to go home, which was ridiculous. 10,000 people. And John would just like stare.
Right.
And it was like a force field.
Yeah.
We played Gildersleeves down in the Bowery, and there was no security, but people were there.
Yep.
And he would just stare at them. It was wild. And then it just...
Well, it's kind of like an Ellen Vega thing, too. I mean, Ellen Vega had the 1,000-yard mile stare.
You know, some people can just do that.
I love doing it.
Our friend,
I mean...
Our friend Lisa in Paris kind of traveled with the Rolling Stones for years. And she said she was at a show somewhere in South America once. And it was just, the size of the crowd was so large that it was really just dangerous.
Yeah.
And she just saw Mick Jagger kind of conduct. Now, of course, Altamont didn't really work well, but in this case, managed to control and contain what could easily turn into a violent mob.
Right.
Well, also, that is a matter of having not only confidence, but no fear of what's going to happen. And if you project that, it's why you live longer than most other people and are not murdered by an idiot who might jump on the stage and shank you in the neck.
I sat behind John for 5 years. And I mean, directly behind him. And I would just watch the audience, just like I could have set my head on fire.
They wouldn't be
and
looking.
People in the audience were like, well, that's a weird smell. What's Johnny doing now?
Yeah.
You know, it was fascinating.
Yeah.
And on stage and off stage. And Keith and Wobble.
Well, and by the way, Keith Levine, okay, one of the best guitar players who unfortunately didn't do as much as he could have, and that was a problem because he was so intoxicated with the wrong things.
Yeah.
He was so fantastic. I mean, I had met him a few times over the years, and I always tried to just say, come on, do something. Come on, do you want to do something? Hey, can we do something? Hey, can you? Yeah. And he just couldn't get past. Because some people can't. Some people are cursed actually by themselves, if not by something else.
It was tragic, and that was
really... he was such a special guitar player.
Yeah, but that really frightened me. There's a clip comes on the screen up there of Old Grey Whistle Test, which we did live. I'm like, what the fuck? And I used to watch it as a kid.
That show was, I always thought it was lip sync, but I guess not.
American Bandstand was lip sync. Old Grey Whistle Test was live.
Right.
Frightening as hell. I'm 20, I'm playing. I'm seeing myself as a child on the carpet, watching myself.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? But Keith was amazing, and then very quickly wasn't.
Yeah.
You know,
very sad demise.
He frightened me, and we didn't get along. He was 22, I was 20. And we had, I was kind of outraged when the Public Image is Rotten, that documentary came out. It's a fluff piece that John organized. And they didn't interview Keith. And I called Keith up. I said, I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to give you a chapter. You can say, you could slag me off, but say whatever you want. But you should have been interviewed for that documentary. And then that was interesting. And then just before he passed, I had a bootleg of a show we did in Chicago in '83. And I did a Zoom call and we're listening. And honestly, Pete Jones, who played bass with us for a while, was on the call. And I'm like, hey, let's have a listen. And I think we were both waiting for Keith to fall off a cliff so we could laugh and go, there you go, that's drugs for you.
Yeah.
And 20 minutes later, we're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
He took it all the way to the edge, brought it back.
Yeah.
And there's me and Pete just being solid. And that night, I sent Keith an email. I'm like, hey, we listened to this bootleg and you were fucking great. I just wanted to say you were fucking amazing. Chicago, 82, 83. And you never knew with Keith, you could get 5 tirade emails, horrible shit or nothing. And he just said, hey, you and Pete weren't bad yourselves.
Thanks.
I'm like, oh, okay. And then a couple of months later, he passed. Yeah.
Very sad. So spending time with Pill, and then you start your own band, Brian Brain, which is, like the in-between, then the Killing Joke, which is also dealing with very intense characters and intense music, and really great at that period. They were and kind of groundbreaking for the sound. So how did that come about then? So you're doing your own thing for a while because you were doing with
there's no overlap. You left Pill and then went on.
I quit Pill.
Yeah.
I had Brian.
Was it just too much? I mean, with Pill, it's like that's enough. You reached your point with that.
I was in LA. This is not a love song. It's top 5 all over the world.
Amazing, by the way.
Thank you. Japan, all over the place. I have a house with a swimming pool and the palm trees, and I could just take a picture. I didn't need to say to my mom and dad, I've succeeded.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of the house with the palm trees.
And by the way, just who would even imagine as a 16, 17, 18-year-old that from working with Johnny Rotten, John Lydon is going to equal that kind of success, because it's just a mysterious and random thing that with you involved also was able to transcend somehow. And it was because the music was so unique, which still had a bite, but also had some kind of evocative sensuality to it, which is weird. It did have this kind of sexy underbelly.
And it was all improvised. Sometimes there was, we could just go off on a tangent. Sometimes a song will be 9 minutes long. Sometimes it will be 5 minutes long. The song called Chant off the Metal Box, I push that up sometimes 20 BPM. If the crowd was going, sometimes you pull it back. Sometimes someone's trying to stab John, so you go on for a little bit while that's playing out.
You're trained as a musician and you can do that.
Yeah. But so I'm in LA, we're on Miami Vice, all this shit going on.
Do you even believe it at that point, or are you getting jaded already?
It's just like, I was sick. There was so much fucking blood.
Right.
And I'm sick. I'm like,
you were sick from not taking care of yourself because you're living the life of a rock and excessor.
Yeah. And drinking. And I'm like, I think I was sick from living what I always thought would be a successful life.
Yep.
And having it just be horrible.
Horrible why?
John
period,
became horrible.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles. In New York, we had a loft, 19th Street and 11th Avenue, Blondie's old rehearsal space, still there. And, we'd be sitting there. My friends Jeff and Margot would be hanging around. They played in Brian Brain with me. And I remember John said one day, oh, there's no more beer. And Margot said, well, you lazy fuck.
Go get some
fucking beer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, uh-oh. And John's like, well, okay. Went and got a case of beer and came back. Once we moved to LA, he didn't drive. I learned to drive immediately.
You had to.
John didn't drive, so he's on the phone with the management company. Once again, the milk has gone curdled on the doorstep. And so
just became a total prima donna.
Yeah.
Or baby. He didn't develop properly as a person, maybe.
I think maybe, I don't know. Maybe he always wanted to be a pop star, and LA made it so he had to. The milk. Every day he's on the phone to the manager.
Crying about something petty.
Right.
That gets to be very fucking irritating.
So you're annoyed with him, but you're also the excess.
You're also
drugs and alcohol was becoming exhausting, or
Yeah.
I mean, how much of it was heartbreak and disappointment arriving at this, and
or
then
irritation as well.
Well, particularly men are sold a lie with the pursuit of ambition. That's
Okay.
somehow no, because they're encouraged, but the ornaments that surround it are kind of bullshit a lot of times.
So I used to walk down Willesden High Street and I'd look at the newspaper, the news agents, and there's Melody Maker Sounds, Record Mirror, Smash Hits, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'd be like, oh, one day. Well, by the time I'm 20,
and you're in them
I'm
all.
on the front cover of Melody Maker, John Peel, Old Grey Whistle Test, American Bandstand, New York, New York. I mean, Scorsese's in the audience. Like, what the I'm 20.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's there, you know? So it became quite hollow quite quickly.
And that's such a very good point. It became hollow quite quickly. And mainly because the surround that surrounds this kind of success, especially early, is fraudulent, is fake, could be gone tomorrow, is full of bullshitters, and then also babies. Oh, the milk is spoiled. Oh, fuck you. Go get a case of beer. Go kill yourself. I mean, I'm a bit more harsh than that. I was like, come on. You know, and the pettiness of the privilege from somebody that had no privilege. This is what becomes amazing to me. It's like, excuse me, do you not remember? Do you have like financial and social and societal and philosophical amnesia? Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah.
And this is why it's so amazing to me that time after time you've worked with people that had a very hardcore presentation.
But you had a sense of self-preservation that now everyone
maybe after that sickness set in.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, I think I said last night, I didn't strategize my leaving. I just I'm like, I'm out of here.
Look, comes the point, it's enough. Next. Come on.
And so that leads me to New Brunswick, New Jersey. I think that's when we spoke.
I don't remember, but why did you tell me we spoke in New Brunswick, New Jersey at one point?
Well, I was living there, and that's when you did the Luna Bear Ensemble show. And
Rutgers or something? Or
no, well, I think we played
Maxwell's.
Oh, the court, maybe, yeah.
Okay, and what was I doing? Spoken word? Eight-Eyed Spy? I have no idea.
Word, yeah. And then Henry did a show with us as well. $60 for Henry Rollins. So that was
his pay then?
Yeah.
Now it's like 200 a seat. Now I don't know what he does.
Yeah. So
okay. You remember what the pay was. The thing about you, Martin, whatever excesses you've gone through, and in accordance with your reading last night at the gig, you have such an amazing memory for so many details, and also you're such an incredible archivist, which this museum is absolute proof of, that you somehow. Let's go back to you as a 9-year-old, 12-year-old, 16-year-old, wanting to be what you did become, and that we're still able now, through all of it, to not only remember shit, but be in a really good place and do really incredible things throughout. Because not only for your own successes of going from like Pill, Killing Joke, Pigface, your own band, 9 Inch Nails, but then what about signing Chinese bands to Invisible Records? Hang on a minute, can we step back for a second? How the hell did that happen?
Well, I got bored.
I bet.
And somebody says, "Oh, you've got to go to China." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And then this was like 2007.
Okay,
you know,
you gotta go.
There was Starbucks there. I mean, I was led to
Beijing.
I was led to believe it was like, oh fuck, I had like a bodyguard who caused more trouble than he prevented.
There you go.
You know. Which is like,
but then who you have to go there. What was the concept of the person that suggested you go there? Like, you have to go there to play, to hear music, to find people for Invisible Records?
No, this guy, it was like a self-aggrandizement thing, which I tumbled before I went. He was arranging all these bands to like showcase. You could showcase for Martin Atkins, label owners coming over. I'm like, what the fuck? In the end, I told him to fuck off. And Michael Pettis, who was he's the professor of finance at Peking University, an old CBGB's guy.
What?
He started a club called D22, which is basically CBGB's.
In Beijing.
In Beijing.
I mean, and what year is this?
2007.
Amazing.
And he set up 4 or 5 bands a night to showcase for me. So, and I'm like, fucking hell. And in the course of
all Chinese bands, young Chinese bands.
In the course of
did you run across Carsick Cars?
Oh my God. I recorded them.
Yeah. Well, because they opened up for us in Europe for a stretch, yes.
Hang on the Box, Subs, Snapline. I signed Snapline.
This is to your own label, which how long had Invisible been going at that point?
Since 88.
Right. So
started Invisible with $100.
Yes.
And
if only I'd made 100 million, then you could be supporting my career.
Yeah.
Take me to China.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll wait.
So
next year, maybe.
I made my own album there in the same way that
with Chinese musicians.
Yeah, but it was like a Pigface album gone crazy. People would wander in. So I'm in the studio. People start to know that I'm in the studio. I'm like, well, why don't I lay down some beats? Next thing you know, a couple of the punks are doing things. Different people are coming in doing stuff. DJ Wordy's upstairs. He just won a competition in England. He comes down and scratches. This Chinese pop star comes in. She's like, I want to sing with you, but you can't let anybody know. I'm like, all right.
This is a secret recording from like a big Chinese pop star.
And so she's singing. I'm like, what is she singing about? And the producer says, it's absolutely disgusting.
What? It's absolutely disgusting.
No. And I'm scratching shortwave radio. You get in a cab and it's like, welcome to Beijing Taxi, a little recording place. I'm like, oh, I'm having that. So I'm sampling stuff. I'm just
if not knowing China, just only from the outside and from just what I read about it, what level does censorship play in the role of
that? Yes,
and no, in general, in terms of just free expression.
I think you cannot Google me in China.
Wow.
That's what I've heard. I don't know.
So I booked,
no biggie.
I booked these Tibetan singers to come
throat
into the
singers
studio.
or just Tibetan?
Yeah. And that day, I'm watching CNN. They had CNN at the
That's
hotel.
kind of amazing.
And they're showing this footage of Tibetans going up the side of a mountain and being shot by
Chinese.
Because they're going as they go up against the snow. Yeah. It's like a shooting range.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's fucking bloop. The TV goes off. So I do what you do in any New York hotel. Yeah. I'm like fucking banging on the television. I'm like, oh, this is what's going on here. Oh, the government just fucking turned it off.
Yeah.
And that was
turns off CNN.
It's a little bit frightening.
Sure.
They had the New York Times in the hotel, but it was a Western hotel.
Right.
It was.
That must have been, because then you're recording, what the hell?
Right.
They could come and shut you down with a couple of bullets.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I didn't know if the Tibetans were going to arrive for the studio. They were fucking amazing. It was so amazing.
Kind of going back to your drumming and particularly, I would assume once you were with Nine Inch Nails, how much backing tracks when do you have to start playing to sequence backing tracks? At what point in your career were you basically playing along to machines?
I didn't do that with Nine Inch Nails.
You didn't?
I did it with Ministry.
Yeah.
But it wasn't sequence backing tracks. They started, and this is really early, 1990. They'd have a
so they hit downbeats on the sampler.
Yeah, re-triggering.
Yeah.
So
it's always being anchored by a human.
Yeah. So, but a song could go on for if there's mayhem, someone's bottled in the face, out through bottles of Bushmills into the,
And again, you're going from Johnny Rotten, John Lydon, Killing Joke, and then and then the next thing is Al Jorgensen. You really know how to pick them.
And Ogre stage, and Ash from KMFDM. Like, what the fucking?
But then also occasionally, for instance, with Pigface or other things, the sweetest Scottish lad, Chris Connolly,
and I don't
balancing shit out.
I don't know if you know Galen Lee. She won the NPR Tiny Desk competition like 6 years ago.
Okay, don't.
She plays fiddle like a cello. She's brittle bone, so she plays it in her chair. She came out with Pigface. What the fuck? You know.
And so was Pig. So you're playing with Ministry. So was Pigface then? Because there was so many of those groups at that time that were just cross collateralizing. And so how did Pigface come about? Was that an offshoot from? Okay, now I got to get away from old Jorgensen, but I still might tour with them or what?
Well, so I'm still in Killing Joke.
Okay.
I'm on the road with Ministry, and me and Bill, the two of us were playing drums. Me and Bill decided to start Pigface halfway through that tour. So we asked everybody who was on that tour. Olga, Al came in the studio, drank a bottle of Bushmills and left. And then
that was his contribution.
Yeah, the guys from KMFDM and Esh came in. We went into the studio the day the tour ended because we couldn't afford to fly people back to Chicago.
Oh,
so
okay.
we did a spec deal with the studio, record now, pay later, $100 an hour.
All right.
You know, and
where was that?
Chicago.
In Chicago,
yeah,
right? Yeah. Okay.
And that was the beginning.
And recorded in one day?
We started the basis of the recordings in one day before people left.
Yeah.
And then we embroidered on that. Steve Albini engineered, produced David Yao came in. Pigface was kind of in the middle of the Wax Tracks touch and go camps for a while.
I mean, because it was so interconnected at that period, so many cross collateralizing. And I mean, David Yao, Jesus Lizard, love.
Lord. Yeah. And just crazy shit. And then that was
but it stopped.
There's 700 or 800 people now involved.
What? Yeah. 700 or 800?
Yeah. Danny Carey from Tool, Flea.
Every city you go to, there's people that want to jump in on the Pigface stage.
Yeah. And some lunatics. We had a guy in the Carolinas with a shopping cart covered in guitar pickups.
Oh my God. So instead of We Are the World, it's more like We Are the Underworld.
Right. And yeah, we said, oh, wow. And it was covered in Christmas tree lights. Like, here we go.
We got the shopping cart in on it.
Who's this?
Oh, I don't know.
South Carolina?
Yeah.
I think I know who this guy.
Oh, my God.
Tim knows the shopping cart.
Because this guy is really an outside artist. What's his fucking game? And he if we're talking about the same guy,
I don't think they're still
right.
No, because he does all types of stuff. And he lives in Sydney now, I think, because he wanted to go to our show. And I 2 months before he put me on the list. I didn't remember. I forgot to put him. If we're talking the same, it has to be the same guy.
Honestly, we're on tone like, hey, because we have bagpipes, harp, cello, whatever the
shopping carts.
Well,
combat boots.
3 shows from now, TikTok, shopping cart. We were all really excited, imagining what it would be. Well, it was absolutely fucking terrible. And so it
was terrible.
It comes on with, and it's because it's on wheels, and we just fucking wheeled him straight up the other side of the stage.
That's funny.
Well, I mean, it was a spectacle. Well, and I just have to put this in. If you ever need somebody who plays a cast iron frying pan with a drumstick, I'm in. Don't worry about it.
Good deal.
All right, I can keep a beat, trust me. And I can certainly beat on shit. I love to do it. I'm just saying. So then at one point, as we go on, you became you're working with this nonprofit Rock for Kids.
Yeah.
And what is that all about? And which is just so important for kids to, I mean, look, it can solve a lot of problems if kids get involved in the arts of any sort at an early age. It can really.
The sooner the better.
The sooner the better.
And so now I do, that Rock for Kids was early. Now I work with Guitars Over Guns. Still here. There's a producer called Ad2, a rapper on the South Side. He has a studio called The Haven, which is literally a haven for at-risk kids. And
so important.
And there's a Chicago program called After School Matters.
And how do kids get involved in this? Like how do they find out about it?
There's outreach at the school.
So important.
And what I love is, the guy's like, today we're going to a museum, and they're, oh my God.
And then they come here and they're like, whoa.
And there's fuck t-shirts all over.
So let's talk about the museum where we're sitting in right now for a minute. So look, you're a master archivist. you remember more than most people have forgotten. And you have this collection, outrageous collection of stuff, posters, t-shirts, records, books, all kinds of things. And this, I mean, first of all, where was all this stuff before you had this museum and your storage space?
No, we had I had 8,500 square feet of loft space behind Reggie's, where Reggie's, before Reggie's was there. And so everything just stayed with the Sheet on Drugs neon.
Kept coming
30 years ago, just we'll leave it here, you know, like stuff just stayed.
You just kept compiling the stuff.
Yeah. And then we started to make scenery. This is Killing Jokes, Money's Not Our God. I started to screen print.
So you who was doing the screen printing? Because there's a lot of screen printing here. The posters are amazing.
It's me.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
What don't you do, Martin? What don't you? All right, fine. Are you a good cook?
Yeah.
I'll cook for you.
Pie.
I love shepherd's pie.
Okay.
All right, so you started doing this social screening.
Yeah. So but
so much talent.
I think the beginning, we were talking about my dad earlier. So that's PIL corner over there.
Right.
And my dad said to me, so I get to like 18. I'm playing 8 shows a week. I'm falling asleep at the apprenticeship that my dad got me. And I get called into the office and they'll to discipline
in Newcastle.
Yeah, to discipline. I'm working at a place called Mullards. They made television tubes when TVs were tubes. And
what a job.
I mean, very industrial town.
Yeah. And also Newcastle Brown Ale. And
not my favorite, but
did you get a lot of harassment growing up in Newcastle? Because I know Ian White, who I play with, Big Sexy Noise Gallery, he would get a lot of harassment growing up.
No, I got shit down in London.
More because of your accent?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
And then my friend Pete was a Cockney. He got shit when we.
I mean,
people were like, you sound like a Cockney outside.
People don't have any idea how brutal London and Manchester, Newcastle, Birmingham was, especially in the 70s to 80s, and even now.
People were wearing flares. If you had drainpipe jeans, the fuck outside.
If you're from Sunderland, just across the way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So my dad said to me, I fell asleep in my disciplinary meeting, falling asleep. And so my dad's like, look, you either have to quit drumming or your job.
Quit tubing.
And if you quit your job, if you quit the apprenticeship I got, he's like, you're a good drummer. You might have a couple of good years, but you're going to end up down the coal mine.
Oh, you're going to end up in the coal mine.
Terrifying.
That's scary.
Yeah. So I think what happened was that's why I kept my Mickey Mouse watch and the BBC cup from the John Peel. That's the germ of this. And then I had the label.
Maybe that's part of your self-preservation. That as you see things unraveled with people, you're like, well, I don't want to work in the coal mines, basically.
I'm not going back to the tubery. The tubery.
Right, self-preservation.
So going back to silkscreen, because design and fashion, there is a look to a lot of the bands you're associated with that's kind of interconnected. Was that just kind of like this collective consciousness, that tribal thing that everyone did together? Was there ever like people like, this is what we're going to look like?
I remember one long sleeve T-shirt I had of Invisible Records, and I think it said there were bumblebees on it and various things. And I think it said "Welcome to America, asshole," or did it say "Welcome
to Mexico"?
Mexico, asshole, which I translated many times into "Welcome to America, asshole." But I love that. I love that. I mean, your design concepts are great.
That was Paul Raven's design.
Very good shirt.
Bless Paul.
Yeah, very cool shirt.
So we print up a couple of thousand, and we're a year in, and Raven says, "Did you see that?" And just here, there was like Madonna with a baseball bat.
Okay.
4 times. I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, did you see that? I'm like, yeah, I saw it. Madonna with it. He's like, keep looking. It's a fucking swastika. Madonna, 4 Madonnas. I'm like, for fuck's sake, Raven. You know, like, oh my God. So
it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So then what about this being inducted? What is this in place of war, which is, look, I've been talking about war since fucking Reagan. I will never stop. I cannot stop. It's not my war, not your war, but the war is never over. But so then Brian Eno inducted you as a fellow of In Place of War. And what exactly is In Place of War?
It uses creativity to try and conquer conflict.
Yeah.
So Igor Cavalera was part of that from Sepultura. We hung out.
Oh, cool.
He's been here, and he was like 10 years ago. They put a studio in Palestine, and he was like, it was fucking brutal. They were trying to
He lives in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ruth, who put it together, she's opened up studios down in Africa and all these townships. And
so it's like the adult version of Rock for Kids.
Yeah.
So that you can, in places of conflict, set up a safe haven for people to create. So absolutely.
And the women are rapping and confronting all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
or as I like to say, confronting.
There we go. And I end up in like how ridiculous in Eno's studio in London. And I'm talking.
When was this with the Eno thing?
This was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh. And I'm like talking to this guy next to me, and I'm just like trying to scope out the place, see where Eno is. And I'm talking to this guy next to me for like 15 minutes. We're just up against the wall. And I turn, I'm like, oh, I'm like, it's Peter Gabriel. I'm like, I'm like, sorry, Peter. I mean, it was just stupid.
I have to say, I saw The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway as a teenager, and it was freaking amazing. Although I am not a fan of Phil Collins or Peter Gabriel. Beyond that, I'm just not.
Contrary to what I think most people would think, I mean, it's just like Jim Thirlwell, JG Thirlwell. He was super into prog. So
I was not.
People were really into
I
prog.
was not into prog, but that was so theatrical, weird, and dystopian. I have to say, it was great.
Yeah.
Now then, Professor Atkins. Now, seminars at tech music schools, books, very important. Two books, Tour Smart and Band Smart. Very important.
The third one
is
Welcome to the Music Business.
You idiot. Asshole. Welcome.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Welcome to the music business. You're fucked. Said.
But Tour Smart.
Did that come out? This latest one?
Oh my God. 8.
Okay. All right. So they're out there.
And so, I mean, I'm very curious about this. I want to know more, but you're fucked obviously from a business standpoint, but do you also kind of go into the lifestyle? I mean, go into everything.
You're fucked in every possible
You're fucked
way.
if you do, if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If
you got to do it.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
You're not. If you think that you're not,
you are.
Fucking are.
Well, and this is my point I always make about creativity. If it doesn't burn your blood, if you don't do it, don't do it. If it burns in your blood, you got to do it at whatever cost it is. And the thing is, the main important thing is, don't fucking be swept under by bullshit, your own or others. Know how to control your drugs or don't fucking do them. Watch where you put your penis. I'm just saying. I can help you if you need. Trust me. And if it doesn't burn inside you, keep your hobby. Do it. Do it as a hobby. Anybody has the right to create, but don't think it's going to go anywhere other than garage. Because for the most part, it might not. Or it might be like this, and you end up in your own museum.
110,000 songs a day being uploaded to Spotify.
Well,
yeah,
it's insane. So I started teaching by accident. Columbia College, Chicago, was just up the street. And we were putting these big tours together, and somebody said, you could get interns. I'm like, what's an intern?
I know, yeah, exactly.
You know, so I go to Columbia, I did a little presentation, and they're like, well, when can you start? I'm like, I can put interns in my car now. No, when can you start teaching? I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, you should teach the business of touring. You're obviously doing this at a real
But both as an encouragement and as a discouragement, really, because people have no idea on whatever level, high or low, how hard it is. I always say, you know what? I work 9 to 5, 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. People have no idea how just torturous it can be, how much time is waiting.
Well, and time being the ultimate commodity.
Yeah.
The more you outsource, there's like a curve. The more it erodes your income.
Yeah.
But you want to outsource if you can, but if you can't.
And you got to understand the reason for why you're doing it in the first place, and also what the end result is. Because the end result has to be you're doing it because you have no choice. Because if you don't, it's going to burn your blood or you're going to hurt somebody.
Right.
It might hurt somebody when you do it, but yeah, you got to get over any fallacy that it's going to go anywhere outside of your own garage. And if it does, unbelievable. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. But you shouldn't have expectations that are just going to be totally blown out of the
Well,
water.
going back to your whole
You're
thing,
fucked if you do, you're fucked if you don't. Hello.
fine.
Welcome to the music industry. You're fucked.
if all music stopped today, the surplus is so great.
Exactly.
You couldn't even possibly begin to scratch the surface. And then, well, we're going to see what's going to happen with just the global economy, the commodification, industrialized music.
But also this point, a lot of people, young people like 15 to 25 are like, oh, you know, there's no visionaries in my generation. I said, but you know what? Time is one long second that goes on forever. So you might have to go backward to go forward, because there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of visionaries in all kinds of fucking music. And if you feel disappointed in your generation, go backward or look elsewhere. Excuse me, look at architecture. Hello. Look at architecture. That's the thing I say. And I also tell people, go into architecture, go into chemistry, don't go into music, because you're fucked if you do. Anyway, this is the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dahl, and Martin.
One question.
Always stolen doll. Timmy talk too much. Take it to the bridge.
If I'm going to run with what you just
take it to the bridge.
You just said. Are there any visionaries that never got a fair shake that no one knows of?
Almost everyone.
Actually, were really important in your life.
Yeah. Could be a long list.
Oh, you don't have to answer, but I'm floating that.
There's one guy comes to mind. He put the Luna Bear Ensemble together. John Ritchie.
Yeah, I know who he is. John Ritchie. Yeah. From New Jersey.
Yeah.
As you said, we played together.
Yeah. He had a piece called The Fuck Factory. He used to work at a motel. He was like the night watchman or whatever you call the receptionist. Maybe I would point to John for sure. Inspirational.
I'm going to say my favorite living artist is Brian Lewis Saunders, and he gets all the attention and love from the right people, and he needs more, but he's out there. The Art of Darkness, free on YouTube. He has done a painting every day since 1995. His experiments are amazing, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of visionaries that have not gotten their just deserved. But what is your just deserved? Welcome to the music industry. You're fucked if you do, and you're fucked if you don't. Lydian Spin, thank you very much. Thank you, Martin Atkins.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Sebastian Repo. This is the Lydian Spin, and you know we're not going to stop. But we would appreciate any help we can get, because, look, our mouths do not run on gas and air alone, occasionally food and drink. So if you wouldn't mind contributing, no contribution, too large or too small, because we're just going to keep going, whether or not you help us out. Your gain, your loss.
The PayPal is paypal.me/TSD1975. That's paypal.me/TSD1975.
It would help. We're going to keep going. You know, we don't like to beg, and certainly we're not, but actually it's a fucking command. Take it or leave it. Thank you. This is the Lydian Spin.